when half of your secondary is gone because of injury.
And
or
Matt,
in Tremont Williams' case, getting torched by the fourth receiver on Arizona's roster.
Matt, that was...
And then you've got another another first-round pick in Danny Shelton, who admitted, much like Gilbert did, I just got by on athleticism in college and in high school because I was just bigger than everybody else. I didn't know I had to play with low pad level to be successful. Are you kidding me? You draft guys who run... He ran so slow they couldn't clock him at the combine. And you expect him to be the baddest dude on the planet? Good kid. I like the guy. He's very likable. Wouldn't mind, if I ran into him at the bar, talking to him for a half an hour about life. I don't want him on my football team if he doesn't know that good pad level is how you're going to be successful.
No, that's a problem. And you know what? We give all the crap to Ray Farmer for drafting Justin Gilbert. Remember, that was Pettin's choice. He wanted his shutdown corner. He liked Justin Gilbert. That is just as much on Mike Pettin as it is on Ray Farmer. So you look at the stats from the game. Josh McCown, 18 for 34, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. But, Matt, the problem with me was, okay, Josh McCown, when he was clearly loopy for several plays, was just trying to get rid of the ball. Yes, he had drops from Brian Hartline, who actually got a couple touchdowns, but had several drops as well. But when you see your quarterback like that, he's out of it. To even take him out for a series and put Johnny Manziel, that's just poor coaching. And if your stubbornness and you're, all right, well, I'm going to show Ray, then you're affecting the team. You're affecting winning. And as a coach, guess what all Ray Farmer has to do at the end of the year? He says, all right, I may have drafted this guy, this guy, this guy. Look at the record. That's his fallback, Matt.
Yeah, it is, because when you really look at it, and I don't hate to harp on Kruger's situation, but you look at a guy who went from 11 sacks to a half a sack, and clearly he was on the field for a good chunk of time, you have to credit that to the coaching.
You do.
The coaches, ultimately, as bad as the drafts have been over the last 2 years, and as bad as, we've thrown Ray Farmer under the bus, not just us, but the collective media, those first round picks were arguably not even his choices. They were
right.
Jimmy has. I don't care what anybody tells me, and I will go to my grave thinking this. Jimmy Haslam picked Johnny Football,
sure,
because he wanted the sexy pick. He wanted the marketing. He wanted the jersey sales to go up. He wanted the season ticket sales to go up. It was a pure business decision that had less than zero to do with football. And Justin Gilbert was Mike Pettin's pick. So we're going to throw Ray Farmer under the bus, and in some ways it has been warranted, but you can almost take those two off of his report card and put those on Pettin and on Haslam. The thing is, you can't fire the owner, but you can damn sure fire a head coach, and he's darn sure probably going to fire the GM too. So, it's a situation that boggles the mind how guys who the organization wanted so badly can't get on the field, and the guy who didn't want to pick him in the first place or was forced to pick him is going to be the fall guy for it, and it's disgusting. Everything about this is disgusting. And then you throw in the trade rumors about sending away Joe Thomas. I mean, I would be happy for Joe if that was the case, because I think he's done enough for this franchise. I don't know that there's anything left he can give to help make this team a winner, because I don't think he can do it himself. So I would rather see him go and get run with a winning team.
Right.
But my God, then it's an expansion team all over again, because you literally have zero cornerstone that you can build on.
No.
Joe Hayden is suffering through a miserable season, both on the field and then with injuries, and so that's really not a cornerstone. Dante Whitner is going to be, about 32 years old next year, so he's not one to build on. Tremont Williams is 32 years old, so there's really Tayshaun Gibson, who's going to be a free agent in the secondary that you can build on, and then offensively it's Gary Barnidge, who also will be a free agent this year, and we all seen that these right player, right price crap,
oh boy,
is going to lead to those two guys getting paid good money somewhere else, and us going back to the bottom of the AFC North, where it seems like we're destined to belong.
Yeah, Gary Barnidge, another nice day, a touchdown, and big play Gary. He's going to get paid and he deserves it. And I hope if there is a new regime that they do look to keep him, because Matt, we've seen it. Shotgun marriages between coaches and GMs do not work. It was was it Phil Savage, Romeo Canal, didn't work. Because each guy wants their own guy in. The GM wants their own coach. And I just feel that at some point you have to just say, all right, this isn't working. Both of you got to go their separate ways. We've been ranting so much, Matt, we haven't even got to the Twitter question here on the Doghouse, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns presented by SportsInteraction.com. And it's this. After that loss, the Browns fall to 2-6. No one's going to be, listen, folks, no one's going to be fired before Thursday's game. Too short of a turnaround. You have 10 days after that, then the bye after that Pittsburgh game. Who would you fire first? Who would you fire first? General manager Ray Farmer, head coach Mike Pettin, defensive coordinator Jim O'Neill, or nobody? Let the season ride out and figure it out at the end. You can get us on Twitter with that, at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic, here on the Doghouse. So, Matt, let's touch on this. Would you, during this season, fire anybody, whether it's a Jim O'Neill, Mike Pettin, or Ray Farmer? Would you fire anybody of consequence during the season?
Jim O'Neill. If only I can choose one of them, it's Jim O'Neill.
Yeah.
He has to be the fall guy for the defense because
the players can't stand him.
Sorry?
The players can't stand him. You can hear it in Paul Kruger's voice. They don't feel like they put them into a position to succeed, and judging by the results, you can't argue with that.
No, you can't. And when the coach loses the room, he's lost everything.
Yeah.
He was a position coach. He'll be lucky to get a position coach job after the way that his defense has performed. And I don't see them firing Pettin midway. I don't see them firing Farmer, although I could understand why they would want to, because then they could get another GM in here, maybe not right away, but at least somebody who has scouting experience and knows the needs of the team, and they could kind of do a backroom deal to say, hey, this is what we need. Unfortunately, I think they're going to find themselves behind the eight ball again, and they're going to be going – I think they might end up having to wait through the Super Bowl this time. They waited through the championship games the last time they made it in 2014 when they made a coaching change, and they're going to have to wait even longer than that because nobody's going to want their clients from an agent standpoint to come here unless there's a lot of money guaranteed and there's also power guaranteed. They know that Cleveland is a career-killing destination for anybody who takes the head coaching job.
Yeah.
And it'll come at a huge price tag for Jimmy Haslam if he makes a third change in less than 5 years of owning the team.
But really, he has to, Matt. He has to. And for me, I'm totally on board with Jim O'Neill getting the boot because, yeah, that defense has lost itself and doesn't believe in the system. But it's also Mike Pettin's system. That's the issue, too. So I'm going to go. I would not be upset with Jim O'Neill going. Mike Pettin, how are you going to get a head coach this time of year to come midseason? Nobody on the staff is qualified. You're going to put Flip? You're going to put DiFilippo, a first-year offensive coordinator, behind the bench? No. Yeah. So head coach.
The guy who's probably most qualified would be Chris Tabor because he's the only one that really has head coaching experience at any level. He was a junior college head coach.
Junior college head coach.
I understand what you're going to say, but I'm just saying he's the only one that has head coaching experience other than his assistant, Sean Menenga. They really do not have a deep coaching staff where you could say, okay, Pettin, you're out, and you're in. Like, they don't have that.
No. And people are pointing to, well, look what Miami, they won a couple of games, and that got some fire. Yeah, but the Browns don't have a Dan Campbell. They have a junior college experienced head coach for their special coordinator as the only option. So I'm not getting rid of Pettin midseason. Matt, I got to go back to Ray Farmer. And by no means, again, we talked about Manziel and Gilbert. I do not blame Farmer for. I do blame him for Dwayne Bowe. I do blame him for the two non-contributing draft picks this year. And I like Danny Shelton getting picked, but these guys have behind-the-scenes stuff. And from the comments you said Shelton made, that is very disturbing. And the misses over and over again. The reason I fire Farmer now, and you don't have to wait to the bye week for this, the reason I fire him now, And we said it last week, it horrifies me that this man is planning the next draft. It terrifies me. I do not want Ray Farmer involved in the drafting process. Get rid of him. Get one of the in-house guys to continue to go. And really, it's going to be from Jimmy Haslam. Maybe he has to bring in a consultant again like Bill Parcells and say, okay, this is the vision and direction we kind of want you to go in heading into this next draft. So go in that way till we figure things out. But Ray Farmer needs to have all decision-making pulled from him. It's just ugly. Like I just can't have it, Matt.
And that's why you're hoping that you get to tomorrow's about 4:01 tomorrow, and you can breathe a sigh of relief if the Browns don't make any trades, because
trade deadline.
If they decide to go in a different direction and really baseball style blow this thing up and have a fire sale, which is almost unheard of in the NFL, you're going to trust the guy you're going to fire to send away your franchise left tackle. The trading of Alex Mack wouldn't bother me all that much because he's gone after the year anyway.
I'm fine with that.
You're not getting any value out of him. You have to convince him to waive his no-trade clause, and if he was really pissed at the team, he would say, no, I'm going to stick around and screw you guys at the end of the year. I'm gone. And that would serve them right, really. But Alex, I wouldn't mind if he were to get traded, I'd be okay with it. But some of the other names, it's like, oh God, we are really starting over if we decide to trade a Joe Thomas. That would just, I mean, you talk about a fan base that is already angry and pissed off at an ownership group. Oh man, if they let Joe Thomas go and then fire Ray Farmer after the season or in 2 weeks on the bye week, oh man, Look out! This team it's going to be 95% black and gold in the season finale at First Energy Stadium. Steeler fans are going to buy up every ticket because Browns fans are going to be just like, you know what, I'm done.
Selling them all on StubHub for $20. Yeah, and for the offensive line too, Mitchell Schwartz is a free agent at the end of the year. So if you get rid of Joe Thomas, this offensive line, which has been below average at best this season, is going to get a whole lot worse. Let's take a look quickly at other AFC North scores. Cincinnati Bengals 16-10 winners on the road in Pittsburgh over the Steelers. Ugly game, lots of turnovers. Big Ben's return, but the Bengals remain undefeated at 7-0, and really with the Steelers falling to 4-4, that AFC North is all Cincinnati's. The Baltimore Ravens in a shootout, upending the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers fall to 2-6. Ravens improve to 2-6, now tied for last in the AFC North with Cleveland 29-6 win, outscoring the Chargers 10-3 in that fourth quarter. So that's your AFC North news. Matt, the Thursday game is coming up real quick, and it's the Browns in to face Cincinnati. Let's take a look at the sportsinteraction.com money line.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
All right, brought to you by sportsinteraction.com. Use sportsinteraction.com/Browns for your special doghouse offer. They will match up to $200 of your first deposit. So, Matt, Cincinnati at home, 10-point favorites. The spread is 10. If you're looking to play the spread, do you take it? Usually double-digit figures are a question mark. I don't know if it's necessarily even enough in this case.
Hell yeah, I'm taking it.
Oh, boy.
No Joe Hayden, no Dante Whitner, healthy Andy Dalton, healthy A.J. Green, no semblance of a run defense going up against Gio Bernard and Jeremy Hill. Hell yeah, I'm taking that 10 points, and I'm running like I stole it.
Oh. And that pays $1.91 if you take the Browns. Oh boy, one of the higher money lines. $5.15, $1.19 if you take the Bengals. So if the Browns did pull off the upset, it would be a pretty sweet payday. And Matt, this is the one time I do not want Johnny Manziel starting. I might say, hey, you know what, Josh McCown, drag your foot, your arm, your legs, your head out there. Because remember where Johnny got absolutely destroyed in the revenge match last year after Brian Hoyer took down the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. Johnny got eaten alive on the road. Because, Matt, if they go out, Johnny plays, Johnny gets wrecked, then this season's people are going to write off Manziel, and the season's over right there. We're going to We're going to see probably Austin Davis.
Over anyway, but that's a whole different story.
We'll see Austin Davis. We'll be getting to third quarterback territory, I'm sure. So that's the one reason I don't want.
You almost have to keep 3 active if you're dead set on starting Josh.
Sure, you do.
have to keep Austin Davis active.
Absolutely. We should say one quick point from the Browns Cardinals game as well. Dwayne Bowe was forced to dress